we got some fight news, and that's what I want to talk to you guys today about.
We've been rocking since the sandbox, man. Stop playing with my dog, Scooper Steve. He the man, got plans, but to give him what you need. Hot damn, from the court to the field, they elite. I'm saying why, yes, got the hot takes and loose, stay checking. Talking about all the highlights from alleys to interceptions, from tutties to dope perceptions and fantasy week projections. And honestly, think you gotta tune in to get the message. Let's go.
Dana White came out with an announcement. He announced 2 fights, one for UFC 299, the Sean O'Malley card, which is really stacking up to be an all-time card, and then another one for 300. Now, UFC 300 needed a big fight. They always do these big fights on the hundreds. UFC 100 was great. 200 was great. Massive title fights. 300, it's been a little lackluster so far. There's some big fights, but it's far from being complete. We want more, and Dana delivered us a really, really good fight for 300. Before we get there, though, UFC 299, Sean O'Malley, Chito Vera, that's the main event. It's their second fight. First one ended in the perennial nerve kick. UFC wants Sean O'Malley to be a star. He is a star with 14-year-olds because that's who's on friggin' Twitch and stuff like that. So that's where he's a great fighter. He's a fun fighter. His style is unbelievable, but he's so cringy on the mic, and I think the UFC knows that. He struggles on the mic. His chirps aren't as good. He's just kind of there, and he looks like a clown, but he fights really fun, and the UFC is investing in that younger generation that's going to come up with Sean O'Malley. They have stacked this card because they want to make it seem like Sean O'Malley is souling in pay-per-views. I'm telling you right now, people aren't buying the card just because Sean O'Malley's fighting Chito Vera. People are buying the card because it's stacked to the brim. And just added by Dana White, co-main event, 5 rounds, Dustin Poirier, number 3 ranked lightweight, Dustin Poirier versus number 12 ranked lightweight, Benoit Saint-Denis. This is an unbelievable fight. 5 rounds, 2 absolute murderers. They go into the octagon and they fight. They don't hold each other down. They're not holding each other against the cage. They go in there and they fight. Poirier, unbelievable boxer, great cardio. He's been at the top of the division for so long, but I've given him a lot of shit because he hasn't defended his ranking against anybody other than a major star. It's time he fights down and defends his ranking, and I got to give him credit. They gave him one hell of a fight, and he accepted it because Benoit Saint-Denis is the real deal. Former French Special Forces. This guy has finished everybody he has fought. He is going through it. He is just hurting people left and right. Head kick finishes. Great grappling against good grapplers. This dude brings it every time. He brings crazy pressure, has crazy power, but this is the first time we're seeing him in 5 rounds. 5 rounds is a different game. That's 25 minutes. It's not 15, and he's only lasting 10 in the octagon because he finishes everybody in the first 2 rounds. I am going to go with Benoit Saint-Denis to win this fight. He's going to finish it in the second round. He's going to beat up Poirier a little bit. Poirier is going to hang in there for that initial clash, and then he's going to start throwing landing some of his own, but ultimately, Benoit Saint-Denis is going to overpower Dustin Poirier, knock him down with a head kick, and then finish him with ground and pound. I don't want to say it's the downfall of Poirier, but it's just that time where we're getting to that certain age. But I will say, if this fight sees the championship rounds, round 4 or 5, Poirier gets it done and he gets a finish in those back 2 rounds. But I don't think it's going to get there, honestly. I'm going Benoit Saint-Denis by finish in the second round. Head kick into ground and pound TKO. Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan coming off a tremendous knockout of Beneil Dariush, who we might be finding out is just past his prime at this point. He fakes the knee. He throws the overhand right, puts him out cold. Like when I say out cold, his head smacks off the back of the canvas. Cold. Guy seeing stars. Craziest shit I've ever seen. Charles Oliveira, quite possibly the most fun fighter in the division. This guy, after Khabib left, picked up the division. He finished Chandler in an incredibly fun way. He finished Gaethje in an incredibly fun way. Finished Poirier in an incredibly fun way. This guy has just gone through murderer's row, and he is crushing them all. Finishes Dariush to get a chance back at the title. He had to pull out of the fight with Islam because of a nasty cut he got on his eye. I get it. You're fighting the champion. You need to be 100%. Now he's getting Arman Tsarukyan at UFC 300. This fight is going to be incredible. Arman Tsarukyan's young. He's a great fighter. But Charles Oliveira is going to get this one done, guys. Du Bronx does it. When he comes down to this fight, people tend to doubt him a little bit. Oh, here's this up-and-comer. I think this is when Charles gets cracked. Nope. Charles Oliveira fights with incredible pressure. I think he's going to get this one done in the second round against Arman Tsarukyan, using incredible pressure, pushing him all the way against the fence, using good power. They're going to go to the ground. Tsarukyan's going to try to grapple, but I don't think Tsarukyan's grappling is on the level that Islam's is, so I don't think he's going to be able to necessarily hold him there. Charles is going to threaten with a lot of good jiu-jitsu skills, triangle chokes. He's going to use slicing elbows from the bottom. It's going to be a great fight. I am going to go with Charles Oliveira to get this one done, and I'm a big Arman Tsarukyan fan. was a big Arman Tsarukyan fan, don't get me wrong, before he pulled some weird shit with Bobby Green. I've been saying he's the second best fighter in lightweight behind Islam Makhachev, but I think against Olivera, UFC's all about matchups. Fights are all about matchups. Olivera's a damn tough matchup for him. I think he cracks him down with pressure. I think he ends up finishing him in round 2 with a TKO, cutting him open with a couple of elbows from the top position.